Hi guys, Martin here with build update number 2 for the Monogram 148 F-4C Phantom. So let's put that aside. On update number 1, what I'd done was I detailed the cockpit tub, put it together and done a little bit of detailing inside the fuselage halves. I'd primed all the ordnance, assembled all the ordnance, primed it and pre-shaded it. And that's as far as I got. Since then, what I've done is I assembled the cockpit tub into the starboard fuselage half, and then I assembled the port side fuselage half to that, so we had a full fuselage assembly. I then fitted the fuselage to the wing assembler and taped that into position and let that set. And when it had set, I just needed a little bit of filler. I'll show you where when I show you the model. While that was set in and I'd sanded it and smoothed it all down, I put the flaps in, the wing flaps, and then when I was happy with all the joints, I primed it. I haven't put the horizontal stabilizers on yet because they need, part of them are painted with the steel and the titanium, so they're going to be painted separately and then added to the fuselage at the end. I also did I painted the wheels, painted the pilot and the navigator, and I painted all the missiles and the gun pod, not the gun pod, sorry, the ECM pod. So I'll show you. First I'll show you the plane, the Phantom itself. So there's where I'm at. I needed a little bit of filler just behind the cockpit there and a little bit at the front. I smoothed all that down. And then when I assembled the splitter plates and the air intakes, if I closed the gap at the bottom there where it joins the fuselage, I had a gap at the top because the angle of that face wasn't tooled right. I could have tipped it back so it mated nicely here, but it would have been a gap at the bottom here. So I clamped it at the bottom and I had to put some filler around the join here, and that was both sides. Fill the joint, smooth it down before I primed it. But that's what she's looking like so far. I put the undercarriage doors in place with plasticine just to hold them in place so I could airbrush the primer all over. So that's how she's looking now. And what I'll do next is, after this video this afternoon, I'll mask this area, and there's a 1.73 inch band on each tip, wing tip, that has to be white, and then they provide red stripe decals to go on top of that, on top and bottom, but I'm going to airbrush those red stripes. When the white's dry, I'll put some clear over it and then airbrush, tape up and airbrush the red stripes. At the same time, I'll also mask this front end and I'll spray the black nose piece. I'll do that. So I'll have the tips done, that, and the red stripes. And also all this back end has to be in shades of titanium and steel all around the tail end. So I'll be doing that before I put the engines in. And but that's where we're at with the plane. I think she's looking reasonable so far. I'm happy with how it's going. So assembly wise it goes together well. It's just those air intakes where the angle was wrong on the back end. I needed some filler on the back edges where it joins the fuselage, and a little bit of filler in front of the cockpit and at the rear of the cockpit on the fuselage. Okay, so these are exactly as they were. The horizontal stabilizers, the pylons for the Sidewinder missiles, the drop tanks, they're the same as they were in build update number 1. And the reason is because these have the camouflage colours on the underside. It's the light grey on the side, and the top side is the green to match the wings on the top side. Gun pod the same, it'll be green on the top, light grey on the underside. So I'll be doing that when I start painting the camo colours. Instead of getting the same colours out twice, I'll do it all at once. And then here's my missiles, my pilot, excuse me a minute, missiles, pilot, navigator, wheels and engines. I'll show you what they look like close up. So there's a one of the Sidewinder missiles, AIM 9s. There's going to be some decals on there as well, 3 decals that have to go on the sides of the body. And there's 4 of those Sidewinders. There's another one. There's my pilot. I got to do some highlighting and a wash on him just to finish him off. That's the pilot. That's the navigator. He'll be standing at the side of the aircraft. I gave him a red helmet. The pilot's got a white helmet, and that's what he's looking like at the moment. Again, I got to do some highlighting and a wash on him. Wheels. Wheels are painted. I might put a little dirt wash on them. So they're the large wheels that go underneath the wings, and then I have the 2 small wheels for the front wheel assembly. And then the AIM 7 Sparrows, they just stay white, so that's what I've got with my AIM 9s, AIM 7s, sorry. And then there's decals go along the sides of those that I have to apply. So what I'll do is, now these missiles are painted, I'll give them a clear coat, and I can put the decals on while I'm waiting for paint to dry on the plane, save a little bit of time. And this is the ECM pod, the electronics countermeasure pod for jamming radar, sonar, laser and infrared frequencies. And last, the engines. I'd add a black base coat on these, and then I mixed some silver, Tamiya chrome silver with a bit of black just to darken the silver down, and then I dry brushed around those engines just to give them some highlights. I don't know whether that's showing in the camera very well. So that's where I'm at. The engines. So next step, the white tips on both wings, the black nose, then the red stripes on the white wing tips, top and bottom. And I'm not going to attempt doing the red and white stripes around the fuselage because of all the contoured surfaces and they angle down. So it'd be pretty difficult doing that. But it does provide a decal So I'll put that on as a decal, and I'll try and tone that down with washes and shading, and so it doesn't look like a decal. It's a big decal. So that's it. Next update, probably in a few days, but that's where I'm at, and I'm going to move forward now, get those wingtips and the nose painted. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for supporting this build, and for your comments and words of encouragement. It's always appreciated, and keep up the good builds yourself. I'm watching your videos, even though I'm not commenting. I am watching. But take care, guys. Happy modelling. Chucks away. Tally-o.